Y'all know nothing about that. That's the old school. Well, not too. Let me stop. There it is. There it is. There it is. All right. You see, I'm sweating in the fan on and everything. Anyway, welcome to another episode of Still Standing. I guess I'm a little tired anyway. But anyway, I'm gonna get through this. But anyway, welcome to another episode of Still Standing. Look, tonight is a really interesting show because I said that I wanted to start just giving homage to some people who not and it's not it doesn't necessarily have to be a celebrity, but I just want to give homage to shine light rather on people who have actually made a difference. And no, I'm not talking about Trump. I'm not talking about Trump. I'm talking about the greatest of all times, not me time for the greatest crimes. I'm not talking about that thing. But anyway, so imagine this. Imagine being a parent and you have a child and you're raising this child and you don't even know anything. You have no idea what this child is going to grow up to be. And then whenever you begin to see the signs, you look around and you are like, wait a minute, wait a minute, what's going on? What's going on? You just to come up. But anyway, I wanted to shine light on one of what what's considered one of the greatest players of all time. I wanted to shine light on him because not only has he come from places that I myself have been and where so many other youths have come from, but he has made it to a platform that not only promotes positivity, but it also promotes a movement that helps bring along people like us and people that's in other inner cities and different hoods and different things like this. Now let's get down to it. Oh, on December the 30th, 1984, LeBron Raymond James, that's his middle name. I was looking at it, I was like, okay. But better known as King James, was born to the proud parents of Mr. Anthony McClelland and Miss Gloria Maria James. And both of these are of Akron, Ohio. Now, from my understanding, Akron, Ohio was pretty diverse as far as the crime. It was more crime. It was more crime, of course, but as far as the different crimes, you seem like people played in everything. From murder to slashing your tires, busting out your windows. I'm talking about shooting up your house, everything. And just being raised in that area alone, just the thought of being raised in that area alone, is scary. Not just in that area, that's just an area that I'm pretty much shining light on tonight. But there are so many other different areas, such as Akron, Ohio. But being raised in Akron, Ohio, wasn't easy for Miss Gloria James, James Bronze's mother, who unfortunately had to raise LeBron by herself, as so many mothers have to do, um, even today. Now, I was looking at the statistics, and the statistics says in 2019 there were about 4.15 million Black families in the United States with a single mother. 4.15 Black families in the United States with a single mother. Now, in African American communities, that's 72% of Black children that are raised by a single parent in a household. 72%. And let's break down that number. That means that's roughly 2,988,000 kids that's being raised by a single mother, by a single parent mother. Okay, Now you look at those statistics, even during the era that LeBron James grew up, the era that he grew up in, or whatever. You look at statistics, and you say to yourself, how in the world, you know, can anybody really, I mean, anybody would look in and they would be like, how in the world can anybody? I forgot I had to get some wine because I was coming. But anyway, so you ask yourself, a lot of people would ask themselves, I'm talking about the outsiders, a lot of, well, some of the insiders too, as I asked, but how can anyone survive that and come out on top or come out successful? You ask that, because it's pretty much zero. How many people would actually bounce out of? I mean, how many people actually comes out of that? Not many. Um, but not that we don't have any successful people of color, because we got a lot of young successful people. I'll give you three here. Gabrielle Jordan, who's only 16, who's doing very well. I'm talking about who's already a millionaire, and then another Gabrielle Goodwin, who's 9 years old, who's the president and CEO of Gabby uh, Bose, rather, and that's a hair accessory. She started this different hair accessories. She said that when she was younger, she didn't like some of the different things that they had in the stores so she started her own line or whatever, and doing very successful. She's a millionaire. And then you have Essence, I think I'm saying that right. At least I hope I am, but I'm not English teacher either. So, but Essence Moore, and she's only 6, and she started a boutique line because she said that well, it was funny, and unfortunate stuff that she shouldn't have had on um, around her anyway. That's what she said. But mothers go through this, and you have to wonder why so many single mothers are as tough and as strict as they are. I mean, they're so strict that even getting involved with other men is a challenge sometimes, because they have this bar so high, and here it is, raising a son, as as a mother, and for that child to turn out okay is a big thing. That is big. I'm talking about that is big. Even seeing the different problems and different things that he went through, that was, and then on top of all of that, the absentee of the father wasn't there. And as we know, just like I said, here it is. Even the statistics say, here it is. It's 4.15 million black families in the United States, but then there's 72% of those that are being raised by their moms, because the father isn't there. So you have to ask yourself, so if mothers are raising the kids, how can the sons or whatever turn out, the daughters and the sons, well, not just the sons, but how can my children turn out all right? And I'm sure this is a question that LeBron James's mother asked herself over and over again. But one of the things that I admire about LeBron didn't allow his dad's failures to define who he is or will become or have became, rather. He didn't allow his daddy's failures, or whether his daddy was there or not, or what his daddy, because even he acknowledged that his dad was dealing with stuff at the time, and maybe still, who knows. But one of the things I do know is that at least he reached across and he was a bridge, and this is why I want to shine light on this guy, because this guy has proven, and I'm talking about, he has a track record that not only shows that he's the baddest on the court, but even outside of the court, he has this big, big, big heart, and this big stage, that he uses, that everybody is like a magnet to, because he acts just like an ordinary person. He could care less. In my mind, I'm convinced that he could care less about the money because, and the reason why I say he could care less about the money because of the different investments that he invests in. He doesn't invest in things and tangible stuff. He invests in communities. He invests in children. He invests in education. He invests in infrastructure. He invests in that type of stuff. I'm talking about stuff that will help progress the black community, help move along the black community. Because I'm gonna tell you something. What's holding the black community back, and LeBron James would back me on this because he said the same thing. What hurts the black community the most, and I've said it in many videos, is the absentee of fathers, the lack of education, and of course, financial situations. Um, you don't have the dad in the house, so you don't have the strongest support. So the mom has to be as strong as she can be. And here it is, and without a good education, you're not going to get a good job. That was a great example of that because even as a dropout, which I went back and got mine, and I turned and everything turned out okay. But going through all of that when all you had to do is just go to school. But here it is. This is something that he's advocating for, and I'm on board with this because not only is he assisting and helping those right there in the community where his hands on right there where he can put his hands on there physically. He's helping everyone spiritually as well because this guy's actually this guy's helped me. He's helped me. So he has been a big asset. But now, um, to every up story, there is also a down story, and we do know that with every success story, there's also some down stuff or whatever. So imagine being a teenager who suddenly becomes one of the most famous people in the world, and combine this with future prospects of even more celebrity, ridiculous amounts of money, and constant adulation from the media and public alike. But in his defense, but in his defense, um, but in his defense, he was 17. Um, he was 17 years old, and he was 17 years old, and I don't know if I guess if I was 17 years old and hell, if I ran into that ride, let me stop. I don't think I would do that right now. Um, I would I would do a whole lot of outreach, and me and anybody that knows me know that I would definitely do this. I would go around and I would fix up, I would select different homes, from people who are really really struggling and I would fix up homes or maybe even purchase homes or whatever for them. And or pay out different. I know I would do stuff like that if I had the money to do that. And this is why I admire LeBron because these are some of the things that he has done. But like I said, with each success story, there comes some stuff. But make no mistake, fame doesn't come without a price. I'm sure everyone remembers the story of these expensive gifts from that LeBron James received as a college superstar. Well, after the investigation, it was later deemed that his mom saved and borrowed to purchase I think it was a Hummer or a Range Rover. I'm not mistaken. Um, if I'm not mistaken, well, I don't remember which one, but one of them. But anyway, I found that interesting because if you do your research, we'll see that so many different athletes got different gifts. But you know what made this guy, LeBron James, so different? What made him so different is he didn't just gain uh, fame whenever he joined the Lakers or any of that stuff. He got noticed at an early age. He was noticed back when he was in his high school years. Yeah. See, when you get noticed by ESPN in high school, you was a bad boy. You was a bad you was a bad Negro. You was a bad Negro. When you when you get noticed, when you get noticed by someone like ESPN, you bad. In high school. I'm not talking about college. I'm not talking about college. I'm talking about I'm talking about when you get noticed like that in high school. In high school, that's big. And they had all sort of different things that they were trying to come up and trying to an attempt to try to sabotage his career, because later on, um, uh, they found out that he also received other gifts of jerseys. I should have had some bird chirping music right there. I should have had some birds chirping. Matter of fact, I should have used these birds right here to just start chirping, because that's how crazy that sounds. That's exactly how crazy. You're gonna sit here and sabotage somebody's career over a darn jersey. See, this is the in to me, this is the inequality in sports. Not just in not it's not just in politics or any of it's not just in politics or any of that stuff, but sports it is big because our black athletes have to work twice as hard. I'm sorry, that's just the way, and they'll tell you themselves. They'll tell you themselves that they have to work extra hard in order to in order to not so much the fame. I'm talking about earn the fame. People they want their money. They want their coins. They want their coins. But one of the things I can say that about LeBron James, even in the process of making money, um, and he did get the big head, and I'll go down to this, and I'll go into that in just a second. Matter of fact, let me go into this, and I'll go down to that in just a second. So after they found, the jerseys and all that stuff there, or whatever, it sort of reminds you of the time that police chief once referenced to Malcolm X. That's too much power um, for one man. If you remember back before Malcolm X died or got assassinated, rather, here it is. The police chief once said, I forgot his name, but anyway, he said, I do remember him saying these words. He said, "That's too much powerful for one black." He said, "For one black man." I forgot to add that in there. Okay, so now a lot of his team players were very upset. A lot of LeBron's team members were really upset. And guess what? There was even a commentator, and I'm not going to say his name because, like I said, stuff is all dredged up on the internet, and I'm just starting out. I ain't trying to lose this little one customer that I got. But anyway, but you know how stuff is all dredged up or whatever. So I'm not going to even say, but here it is. This commentator come out of his mouth, and I just asked you to just Google it. That's all I'm gonna say, or YouTube it or whatever. But he said, I would love to see someone else star besides LeBron. He said it just like that. He put emphasis on LeBron. He said LeBron. So it's crazy, man. It is. And then okay, so not only does it goes from there, but in 2011, ABC News referred to LeBron James as the most hated player. In 2012, it was the Bleacher Report that said he was the one of the reasons why they kept referring to him as the House of Cleveland. Come on, get it. How many helmets do I? I mean, we have to understand one thing I have, and I've been doing not so much a lot of research, but I just been reading up, on a lot of LeBron's accomplishments. And one of the things I can say is that he has been the complete time he has been arranging, he's been setting up not just different goals, but he has had different goals for himself, and he's wanted, and he has been reaching those goals, and he sets very, very high bars for himself, really, really high standards. And so, looking at all of these different attacks, I understand this in two ways. I understand that. Of course, I understand the hating part, but at the same time, could it be that they're hating because maybe they're learning, and maybe they the attention, and maybe they want a response out of it, so maybe they can learn a little more. All them people went to Trump University, every one of them. Here's King. But anyway, but anyway, whatever. Okay, now let's go to this. Let's go to this next attack. Okay, so I already told you about 2011. ABC News referred to LeBron as the most hated player. 2012, it was the Bleach Report, and let's not forget Laura Ingram, Judge Shapiro, or whatever Shapiro, or whatever her name is. I'm not even sure how you say it. Candace Owens, and yes, a few senators. Now, Trump also attacked LeBron. He attacked him, he called him stupid and all of this his stuff, and all this his stuff because he started a school and all this his stuff. Well, Mr. President, I have something to tell you. LeBron's school is real, and the kids are actually learning real arithmetic. They're learning real writing. They're learning real algebra. Let me stop. They're learning. They're really learning. I'm talking about for real, for real. I'm talking about all of that stuff that's in that school is real. I'm talking about every one of them. When they come out of side of that school, those are real certificates and real degrees and stuff. I mean, real diplomas and stuff like that. They're real. So the government can't. The government is not trying to shut his school down for teaching all that racist stuff, because I know you had nothing but the KKK as teachers in your own school. But I want you to know that that one is real. That one is real. I want you to know that. Give me 1 second. Okay. Okay. Now let's look at some of. I'm talking about just a few of the accomplishments, just a few of the accomplishments. Okay, how about a four-time NBA champion in 2012, 2013, 2016, 2020? How about a four-time NBA Finals MVP of 2012, 13, 16, and 2020? How about 16 NBA All-Star 2005 through 2020? How about 13 all a first team 2006, 2008, 2018, and 2000, I say 2020. How about a two times all NBA second team 2005 and 2007, and an all NBA third team in 2019? And the list just goes on and on and on and on. I'm talking about, I can give you stat after stat after stat after stat after stat. But one of the most interesting things that I learned from LeBron is that it doesn't matter where you start, but it matters what path you get on to, and your ending. And one of the Bernie Mac said it. Bernie Mac said it the best in one of his segments, and he was being real serious in this. He said, let me tell you something. He said, people don't care what I have done in my past. People don't care how much money I got. People want to know, have you made a difference? What have you done? People come out to laugh at me every day. They want to know what is the next funny joke, because they're ready to forget some stuff. And let me tell you something. LeBron has not only brought to the table fighting for equality, fighting for justice, fighting for our Black community. He has put a lot of money and a lot of time. And I'm gonna tell you something. Whenever you put that amount of time, and I'm gonna say this before I get off of here. Let's start with this. Since celebrities got all this money, they should do more stuff. No, what the celebrities, what you should do is you should learn what the celebrities did to get to their status in order to reach back and do somebody, just keep that ball rolling. That is the ball. That is the name of this game. This is why I chose LeBron James. This is why I chose LeBron James as a true hooper because it's not just about the court with him. It's not just about the court. And you see this. You see this. I'm talking about this is all in his heart. This is all in his heart. And you see it. I'm talking about you see it. You see it. And we embrace that. And I just want to, and I don't know if you ever gonna see this video, and I may not see it. Who knows? I don't know. I don't know. Who knows? Maybe 50 years, but that's 20, I don't know. But anyway, I want to say thank him, and not for just being the greatest basketball player of all time, in my mind, but for also being a true example that there is hope for people that's less fortunate. There is hope. There is hope. And you are proof of that because you came from the same areas that some of these kids are getting ready to come out of too. And it's not all because of you, because there are a lot of people that's working, but we do see you and we appreciate you and we thank you for that. And with that being said, you can share, like, subscribe, and you can definitely comment if you want to. I'm going to be doing this show every Sunday. I'm going to just pick out anybody, and like I said, it don't necessarily have to be a celebrity. It could be, just I know a lot, just regular people, that nobody else knows or whatever. That's just amazing, people. Um, so with that being said, I'm just to get ready to get out of here, and I said that. What better way? What better way? What better way? What better way? Uh, 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 Let me stop. I'm fine as hell. I'll see y'all later. Peace.